I opened my eyes and looked all around me. Surely this must be a dream. But it wasn't. It was real. Everything around me had been completely destroyed. Smoke still rose out from the ashes of burned down buildings. The sky was bright red with the glow from distant fires. It was a complete ghost town. I couldn't see anyone else at all. Oh my God, am I the only person to have survived this? But before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell too, or you might end up waking up in an apocalyptic world like I did. Whatever had happened had completely obliterated the town that I lived in. Hold up though, you're probably wondering how I got to this point. Let's backtrack, back to where it all began. The first time I saw Pia, I fell madly in love with her. She was a new girl at our school, and from the moment my teacher introduced her to our class, I knew she was the one for me. I couldn't keep my feelings to myself. As soon as class finished, I ran to find my friends. Oh my God, have you seen the new girl? She's so pretty, and she's clever, and she's funny.
Okay, calm down. I think somebody's got a crush.
My friends all laughed and teased me, but it was true, and I didn't care who knew it. You're right, I think she's amazing.
Well, you should tell her then.
Oh, I couldn't. I'm too shy.
Well, if you can't tell her to her face, then you should write her a letter.
I thought about what my friends had told me to do, and I knew that I just had to give it a shot. I wrote her a letter and slipped it into her locker. The next morning, I was so nervous to see Pia. I just really hoped that she liked me. I saw her walking towards me, so I took a deep breath and said, "Hi, Pia." I expected her to at least say hi back, but she didn't. She ignored me and just went walking on by. I felt really hurt. I can't believe it. She doesn't like me. When I met up with my friends, I told them what had happened. I'm literally heartbroken. I thought she was going to be the one, but she obviously doesn't feel that way about me. My friends tried to comfort me, but nothing could cheer me up. I was so happy when the bell went to signal the end of the school day. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I was walking home all alone when suddenly in front of me, I saw Pia step out onto the street. She obviously hadn't seen the car that was zooming towards her. I ran and grabbed her and dragged her out of harm's way.
Oh my God, thank you. You saved my life.
Didn't you see the car coming?
No, I didn't. Thank God you were here. What's your name?
Jason.
Thank you again, Jason.
No trouble, anytime. I walked away from Pia. Well, that was awkward, but I guess at least we can be friends. The next time I saw Pia, she was really friendly with me. We started hanging out, all of us, and we soon became really good friends. One day, a group of us were in the cafeteria when someone started talking about secret crushes. Pia turned to me.
How about you, Jason? Do you have a crush on anyone?
I felt like she had stabbed a knife right into my heart. You know already.
I do?
I couldn't believe she was being so mean to me. Well, I wasn't going to hang around and take it any longer. I grabbed my bag and stormed off from the group. I could feel everyone's eyes on me as I walked away. I hadn't gotten very far before Pia caught up with me.
What's wrong, Jason? What have I said?
Are you telling me you don't remember?
Remember what?
On your first day here, I gave you a love letter, I put it in your locker, and you never even acknowledged me. Pia looked at me confused.
I never received any love letter.
Don't try to deny it. I definitely put it into your locker.
Which locker did you put it in?
220B?
Ah, I understand now. My locker is 221B.
I couldn't believe it. I had put the letter in the wrong locker. I felt so embarrassed and my face went bright red.
Oh, don't be like that. I think it's cute what you did.
Really?
Yes, really. In fact, can I ask you something?
What?
Would you like to go on a date with me?
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I had given up any hope of ever dating Pia, and now she was asking me out. Yes, I'll go on a date with you. Pia and I hit it off right from our first date. It wasn't long before we got really serious.
I want you to meet my parents.
Yes, of course, I would love to meet them. Pia invited me to her house so that I could meet her family. Her dad was a scientist, and as soon as we started chatting, he wanted to show me some of his experiments.
Hey, Jason, I've just invented this new VR set. Would you like to take a look?
Yes, sure, that would be great.
Oh, Dad, leave Jason alone. He doesn't want to be bored by your work.
Pia seemed quite annoyed with her dad, but I wanted to make a good impression on him. It's fine, Pia. I'd love to look at your dad's invention. Her dad handed me the VR set, and I put it on. Wow, this is amazing. How did you manage to come up with such a cool invention?
Oh, well, you'll have to let me explain everything to you one day.
Sure, that sounds great.
Anyway, Dad, leave Jason alone now. We're going up to my room to listen to some music.
Okay. See you another time, Jason.
Yes, sir. It was about a week later, and I was sitting in my bedroom when I heard the ping telling me I had a message. I picked up my phone and read the text.
Hi, Jason. Why don't you come over on Saturday? I will explain to you all about my inventions.
I was a bit hesitant at first. After all, it's kinda weird for your girlfriend's dad to invite you over. But what harm could it do? He was an interesting guy after all, so I sent him a reply agreeing to go to his house. When I arrived at Pia's house, I was surprised to see that her dad was there alone. Where's Pia?
Oh, her and her mum have gone out for the day.
I thought that it was a bit strange that Pia hadn't wanted to see me, but maybe she already had something planned with her mom. Oh, right, okay.
Come on, follow me. I'll show you my lab.
I followed Pia's dad down to his lab. It looked like he was in the middle of lots of different experiments. Something was bubbling away in a glass vase, and a machine in the corner was making strange whirring noises.
Come over here and have a look at this.
In the middle of the room was a metal table. On it was a wooden box holding about 10 different colored vials. He picked one of them out of the box and held it out towards me.
Be careful with this. If it breaks, you could send the whole world into chaos.
I was feeling really wary at this point, so I decided to take a step back, away from the vial. But I didn't notice that there was a banana peel randomly lying on the floor. As my foot stepped on it, I slipped. My arms went flying up into the air and knocked the vial clean out of his hands. It smashed onto the floor.
What have you done?
Ah! As the scream left my lips, the lights went out. I felt something sharp, and then I began plummeting into darkness. I opened my eyes and looked all around me. Surely this must be a dream. But it wasn't. It was real. Everything around me had been completely destroyed. Smoke still rose out from the ashes of burned down buildings. The sky was bright red with the glow from distant fires. It was a complete ghost town. I couldn't see anyone else at all. Where is Pia's dad? Am I the only person to have survived this thing? I began to walk around what was left of my town, calling out as I went. Hello? Is there anyone out there? I stumbled on and on through the piles of debris. When I got to the location of where my school had been, all that was left was a pile of rubble. There was no one to be seen anywhere. I wandered the streets in a daze, hoping that somewhere I could find someone else still alive. But there was nobody. I felt terrible. I walked for days and days, in tears most of the time. I was so hungry and thirsty too. I tried to look for food, but I couldn't find anything that was edible. I began to get weaker and weaker. I tried to keep walking, but without food and water, I didn't have the energy to keep on looking. Eventually, I couldn't go on anymore. I collapsed onto the floor and just lay there, staring at the devastation around me. The starvation ended up defeating me, and I died. Or at least I thought I died. I opened my eyes. I felt a bit strange, as though I was in a different world. I could sense that there was someone beside me, and I looked to see who it was. It was Pia's dad, and he was holding a VR set.
Damn, another failed experiment.
I looked at him in confusion. I had no idea what was going on. It wasn't until I tried to get up that I realized I had been restrained. I was hooked up to some kind of machine, too. I tried to pull away from the restraints, but they were too strong. Let me go. Untie me now.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. That was just an experiment to see how your brain would react to believing that you had destroyed the world.
But the vial, I smashed it onto the floor.
Oh, there was nothing sinister in the vial. That was just plain old orange juice. I had placed the banana peel behind you, knowing that you would trip and fall. I was the one that switched the lights off, and then I injected you with a sleeping serum. As soon as you fell asleep, I hooked you up to the VR set.
What? You're crazy. At that moment, I started to really panic. I was stuck in the lab with a crazy scientist. I knew I had to get out of there. Help! Help! As I screamed out, Pia's dad started coming towards me, the VR set in his hands. Please, someone help me. Suddenly, the door burst open and Pia and her mom came running in.
Dad, what are you doing? Leave him alone.
I had to test out my VR set on someone.
You're insane. You can't just mess with people like that.
Try and stop me.
I looked at Pia frantically, but then her mom spoke out.
Pia is right. I'm sorry that I can't let you do this anymore.
How are you going to stop me?
I've called the police.
No! Why would you do that?
2 seconds later, the door burst open again and a dozen policemen came running in. They grabbed hold of Pia's dad and put handcuffs on him.
You're under arrest. Don't try to resist. We've got you surrounded.
I could see that Pia's dad knew the game was up. He didn't try to put up a fight. He didn't even say a word as the policeman led him away. As soon as he was gone, Pia came running over to me and undid all the restraints.
I'm so sorry. I can't believe my dad has done this to you. I had no idea that he was capable of doing something like this.
At least you came to rescue me. If you hadn't found me, I don't know what he would have done to me next.
I've been trying to find you for the past 48 hours. I've been calling and texting you, but you didn't reply.
What? Are you telling me that I've been here for 2 days?
Yes. At first, Mom and I didn't think about it. Dad often locked himself up in the lab for a couple of days when he was working on something important. But when I couldn't find you, I started to wonder if Dad had something to do with it. So I looked through my husband's phone and we saw the message he had sent you. As soon as we realized that you had arranged to meet with him, we put 2 and 2 together and decided to come and search the lab.
I put my arms around Pia and hugged her.
I'm so sorry, Jason. Can you forgive me?
There's nothing to forgive. It's not your fault. Your dad is crazy. And anyway, I'm just happy to know that everything in the world is normal and not empty like I had thought it was.